Hello YouTube, I am doing another gamer log, and this time I am talking about Bioshock Infinite, probably one of the greatest games I've ever played. It was a heavy contender for Game of the Year in 2013, which is currently still 2013, up against The Last of Us and Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, the other two are great games, but to me personally, this one was Game of the Year. The story was fantastic, the gameplay unforgettable, the characters unforgettable. They currently have one downloadable content out, which is awesome. I've already beat that as well. I know they have another one coming out as well. But the story overall. The main thing here is that Booker DeWitt, a private detective that is having to repay a debt, is having to search for a girl in this cloud up in the city up the clouds. And so he's very reluctant, but he's got to do it. He's got a debt to pay. So he gets up there and he's having to search for this girl, who he has no idea who she is. His job is just to grab her and take her to some people. But shit hits the fan, excuse my language, and it gets crazy. The gameplay is your standard first-person shooter, but with a very creative twists. You have different powers. You have the power of fire. You have the power of electricity. You have the power of levitation. And it's great. The main way you get around, aside from walking, is using a skyhook, which allows you to attach to railing along the city that's in the sky. And that's a really cool perspective too, because you can kill people by jumping off of the railing and onto them. You also have finishing modes, which is very cool. The game can get gory, which is even more awesome. But the story itself is what really sets this game apart from other stories in the Bioshock universe, to me. Because there is such a moral and immoral background to the story, involving religion, involving personal ethics, kidnapping, just all kinds of stuff. Trying to acquire power through religious efforts. It's just great. And the ending itself will blow your mind. It did for me. Now, if you don't know anything about it, I'm not going to spoil anything. But I will say it can get complicated on a lot of levels. And you've got to think three-dimensionally. No, sorry, multi-dimensionally in order to understand it. It's such a great game overall. Again, the characters, unforgettable, story perfect in my opinion. The downloadable content, the current one that's out right now, takes you back to Rapture, which is the very first Bioshock. It kind of has that old 1940s feel to it. You've got this private detective. This girl's come in. She wants to hire him. Well, not really so much hire him, but help him find his daughter. And so you've got big daddies that have come back. You've got the little sisters that have come back. And you're trying to find this girl. But the different part here, as compared to Bioshock Infinite itself, the very first one, is that the girl is more of the leader. You're following her. She's calling the shots, stuff like that. There's different scenarios where she helps out a lot. She acts as somebody interested in art, what allows you to sneak back to the back to try to find something. She actually knocks a guy out. And so she shows a lot of strength as compared to the first one. In the first one, Elizabeth Birdsong, by the way, a little note, there actually is a reference to her in World of Warcraft. There is an NPC that walks around Stormwind called Elizabeth Birdsong that says the possibilities are infinite, different stuff like that. But back to the game. As opposed to the first one, she is kind of this meek, innocent, naive girl who wants to see the world, who wants to escape her prison cell, and see the world, see Paris, just encounter all of these things. And along the storyline, she does grow up a good bit, but she still tends to be pretty, again, innocent for the most part, kind of not really take charge. But again, in the downloadable content, she does. So there's a total character change with that. Now, unfortunately, Booker DeWitt, his character, his character is involved in a lot of ways with the story, both for good and bad. but I'll let you play the game to experience it for yourself. So, with that said, total keeper, not a renter, and you will thoroughly enjoy it. So, with that, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out my other GLOGs, check out my GLOG playlist. I'll put a link to it down on the bottom. This is a new series for me here on YouTube that I'm just doing, taking from my knowledge of video games, what I've played, what I've conquered, and putting it out for video for the world to see for any recommendations that the world might need. So, see you later.